Thank you. Thanks, Ed. Thanks to the Triangle Fire Commemoration. And I want to recognize Edgar Romney, the amazing activist who we've all been talking about, who will be back next year and is also a member of the Workmen Circle Board. And we wish him a speedy return to the picket lines and to commemorations like this and to the leadership role at Workers United. So the Workmen Circle was founded in 1900, and since then we have served as an immigrant rights organization. Through succeeding decades, we've helped build the union movement in America, and we've been a progressive Jewish social justice agent, passionately committed to standing against intolerance, inequity, and bias. In 1911, we stood side by side with our brothers and sisters in the labor movement, and we mourned our members and friends who died in this tragedy. 146 workers, mostly young women, Jewish and Italian immigrants. They were all forced to work in sweatshops where their lives were valued less than the shirtwaists they sewed. A tragedy all the more heartbreaking because it could have been prevented. The Triangle factory owners were viciously anti-union, and they fought back many attempts to organize and gain union protection for their workers. The owners played a leading role in fighting the 1909 general strike of over 20,000 immigrant workers, all of them in shirtwaist factories like Triangle, who walked off their jobs demanding safe working conditions, fair pay, and reasonable hours. When the strike ended successfully, and 85% of all the shirtwaist factories were covered by union contracts, the Triangle factory remained unorganized. Their owners' greed unchecked, and 146 workers paid the ultimate price. Today, over a century after the uprising of the 20,000 and the Triangle factory fire, the labor movement finds itself again fighting extraordinary attacks on every angle of union membership and collective engagement. Workplace safety regulations put in place after the 1911 fire are now in jeopardy. The right to collectively bargain, collect union dues, and to organize are all under threat of weakening or outright elimination. All of us here are anxiously awaiting the Supreme Court ruling in Janus, and so many in our movement right now are hard at work, strategizing next steps no matter how the ruling falls. Now is the time for the labor movement to take inspiration from the historic uprising of the 20,000 and follow the lead of the thousands of historic organizers and immigrant women workers and reclaim its position as a unifier of all working people, of immigrants, of women and men, young and old. Each year, the advent of the Triangle commemoration immediately precedes Passover, one of the greatest historic stories of workers collectively rising up against their oppressors and undertaking an exodus to the promised land. Today, we all have to pledge to fight to keep the United States a promised land for everyone, for workers, for dreamers, for immigrants, and for the people whose diversity make our country really great. Today, as we recite the names of Triangle's 146 victims, let us remember, commemorate, and commit in their memory to answering the 21st century call to action for immigrant rights, for worker safety, for civil liberties. All of this started more than a century ago, and let's all commit not to make the same terrible mistakes again. Thank you. And now, today, we remember the workers that lost their lives, and the names I'm about to read are all Workmen Circle members. Yetta Mayers, age 19. Rebecca Fibish, age 20. Rose Mell, age 15. Jenny Levin, age 19. And Rose Friedman, age 18. And I'll lay a flower for Rose Sorkin, age 18. Thank you.